I, as soon as I got done making that last video, that was over 3 hours and 45 minutes long, I remembered something that I wanted to put in that last video. Please watch and listen to the last video that I put up that's over 3 hours and 45 minutes long, talking about the most evil and narcissistic Ebenezer Scrooge, John Elwes, just narcissistic. I'm so tired. Like I said, I've got a migraine. I'm so tired, but I'm saying it's so bad when you make a video about somebody that's over 3 hours and 45 minutes long, talking about, all the just terrible, awful, narcissistic Ebenezer Scrooge, just all the evil, and then for over 3 hours and 45 minutes, and then as soon as you stop the video for 3 hours and 45 minutes, you remember other horrible, things that have happened over the past 17 years. Okay, please, like I said, please watch the last video I posted of this evil, the most evil person, most narcissistic, most Ebenezer, self-centered. I don't even know. Like I said, it is so hard to put into words, how evil and how cheap and how just unappreciative and how awful this. I'm just saying how this guy has, like I said, please, watch the last video that's over 3 hours and 45 minutes long that I posted. Please watch, and please read the newspaper clippings and the articles that I put up in that last video. Please. That, I'm just saying, and the pictures that I'm gonna post of the, like I said, please, the pictures that I'm gonna post of the newspaper article, about, I'm just saying, the lady who faked being pregnant, and they were there to rob him and had, the loaded gun, and she pretended that she was pregnant, but she wasn't pregnant. I'm just telling you, they had the loaded gun and the duct tape and the pillow and the pillowcase, and I'm just saying, please. It happened in 2010. Like I said, I'm just trying to, like I said, his wife, his business partner, this Ebenezer Scrooge, this horrible person that I've dealt with for 17 years. He tells me that his wife is pissed off at me because I cost her $1 million in life insurance, because I put my life on the line to save his life and to save their merchandise, and now, not 9 years later, he tells me that his wife is pissed off at me because I cost her $1 million in life insurance. Whenever, like I said in that other video that's over 3 hours and 45 minutes long, when this Ebenezer Scrooge, this narcissistic, horrible, satanic, evil person tells me, that anybody, he says any schmuck, and I'm telling you that's exact words, any schmuck can make $200,000 a year to $300,000 a year out of the store, no problem. So, like I keep on telling him, I didn't cost your wife $1 million, okay? Not only did I make her $1 million by putting my life on the line, for yours and for you and your merchandise and her merchandise and everything, they had a couple $100,000 worth of inventory or whatever, Not only did I make her $1 million, I made her and him $1 million, but I have made them over that $1 million. I've made them a minimum of $800,000. A minimum of $800,000 to $1.7 million. Over the $1 million by putting my life on the line for him. And because it was him and I were the only ones there, okay? And like I said, I told him at the beginning, I said, there's something wrong. I said, they're wearing clear plastic rubber gloves. Like I said in the other video, I said, you got to think like a criminal. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it. You got to think about how is somebody going to try to hurt you? In business, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with valuable merchandise, you got to think, you got to, don't live scared. This is what I'm saying. Don't live scared. Be prepared. You know what I'm saying? You have to prepare yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that, like I've said before in another video, and I told this guy so many times, you need to make the money, but you want to leave. You want to leave. There's no sense in making money if you can't leave and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And live. And you know what I'm saying? But, I'm just saying, so not only, like I said, I've been treated like worthless trash. I have been treated like worthless trash, for 17 years. But this Ebenezer Scrooge, this John Elwes, this just awful devil, like I said, please, I can't even put into words how horrible that he has treated me. He's talked to me. He's treated me, like I said, the only thing I can think of is worthless trash. If there's anything less than worthless trash, that's the way he has treated me. He has put me down. And he has, like I said, he has just done so much damage. You know what I'm saying? He has just drained me. He's, like I said, he is absolutely without any doubt whatsoever, zero doubt. He is absolutely the most evil and narcissistic and Ebenezer Scrooge, the cheapest, most unappreciative, the most narcissistic person who is so self-centered and believes the world revolves around him. And like I said in the other video, I've said it to him so many times. I said, you think the world revolves around you? And he said, yeah, what? I said, you live in your own world. I said, you live in your own world, And he said, well, yeah, what other world would I live in, I mean, like I said, please, just listen to the other video. Please, listen to the other video and just, I don't know, just please, but like I said, I have made them, like I said, please watch the other video. And I know but like I said, I have made them $1.8 million to $2.7 million by putting my life on the line to save his life and their merchandise in 2010. And this is 2019. He's been alive for over 9 years. And he told me so many times, any schmuck can make $200,000 or $200,000 a year to $300,000 a year out of the store. Any schmuck. Okay, so you do the math. Okay, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. Okay, He tells me all the time, my wife is pissed off at you because you cost her $1 million in life insurance money. If I'm just saying, but I didn't cost her $1 million. I have made them $1.8 million, almost $2 million, to $2.7 million, almost $3 million for He's been alive 9 more years. He's made at least $1.8 million out of that store to $2.7 million out of that store. But yet he tells me his wife is pissed off at me because I cost her $1 million in life insurance, and he treats me like I said. I would say he treats me worse than a dog, but like I said, he treats dogs 1,000% better than he treats me. Okay, so like I said, the only thing I can compare it to is that he treats me like worthless trash, and he treats me worse than worthless trash. And like I said, his wife, his business partner, has stood by, and like I said, she has, she's just stood by and allowed this to happen. And like I said, it's like somebody who knows somebody is being abused and treated absolutely horrible, but just stands by and doesn't do anything about it. And like I said, she calls herself a Christian, but yet, like I said, her husband or business partner, who's the most narcissistic person, the most evil person that I've ever met in my life, who is so self-centered and puts down everybody else. He puts down everybody else. He puts down everybody. I'm just saying, I cannot tell you how many times he has talked about so many people behind their backs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he talks to me, and talk about mental torture. I mean, like I said, please just, but like I said, this is what I was thinking, okay? This is what he said to me too. This is the words that have come out of his mouth. Okay, this is what this Ebenezer Scrooge, just this John Elwes, this evil, satanic, narcissistic, horrible person has told me. Okay, here's the thing. He has told me. This is out of his own mouth to me. He told me. He said that he told me that I have spent. He told me, he openly admitted and told me that I have spent $100,000 with him since I have known him in 2002. That I have spent $100,000 buying merchandise from him. And that... And this is what I'm saying. In his mind, this is what I'm saying. This is how Ebenezer Scrooge, this is how John Elwes, this is how narcissistic this person is. Okay? He talks to me and treats me like worthless trash, worse than worthless trash. He tells me his wife is pissed off at me because I cost her $1 million, even though I've made them $1.8 million to $2.7 million minimum. By putting my life on the line for him, and he's been alive 9 more years to make that money, and he's still alive. You know what I'm saying? So, not only have I made them $1.8 million to $2.7 million, and I get treated like worthless trash, or worse than worthless trash. This Ebenezer Scrooge, this horrible person, has admitted to me that I have spent $100,000 with him. I have spent I'm just saying, money, United States dollars, currency, cash. I have spent $100,000 with him, buying merchandise off of him from 2000. I'm just saying, since I met him in 2002. And what he said to me, when just like whenever I told him, I told him that, we've had this conversation before where he tells me his wife is pissed off at me whenever he said my wife is pissed off. I know I keep on repeating it, but this is how insane. That's what I'm saying. This is how insane this is. That someone would he's saying that someone is mad at me because I cost her $1 million in life insurance when I didn't cost her anything. I didn't cost her anything. He has been alive from 2010 to 2009. He's been alive for 9 more years, and he says that any schmuck can make $200,000 a year to $300,000 a year out of the store. Okay, so I didn't cost her $1 million. I've made them. I've made his wife, his business partner, and him $1.8 million, almost $2 million, to $2.7 million, almost $3 million, okay? And what have I gotten off that? Nothing. Zero. I get verbally abused. Like I said, I get threatened. I get my life threatened. I get threatened. He tells me he's going to punch my teeth out, you know. He calls me, he verbally abuses me and puts me down. You know, he, like I said, he talks to me and treats me like I'm worthless trash, or worse than worthless trash. And like I said, he does this when nobody else is around. You know, he won't do this in front of the customers. He won't do this in front of his wife or his business partner, you know. He'll do this whenever nobody else is around. And then, like I said, he's so narcissistic, he's so evil, that whenever I mention what he says to me or whatever, or what he does, he'll say, oh, he never said that. You know, he's a compulsive liar, you know. So that's what I'm saying. This compulsive liar, this Ebenezer Scrooge, this horrible, evil, satanic devil person who is so self-absorbed, and, you know, like I said, He thinks he's like God, and everybody else is an amoeba. You know, that all he cares. Like I said, it's just like I said in the other video. Money is not the root of evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. And this guy that I've been talking about in this video and the other video, he loves money. Like I said, it's like money to him is like a great white shark to blood. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is the guy that cries poor. You know, he cries poor, but he's not really poor. You know, he's the type of guy that says he's tired, hungry, and broke. Whenever he's absolutely, without a doubt, he is not, absolutely not tired, hungry, and broke. He is fucking rich. He's a multi-millionaire, but yet he wants to hide under the radar, and for some reason, he wants to cry tired, hungry, and broke. You know what I'm saying? This is the same guy that tells everybody and their mother that his nephew, just like I said in the other video, he tells everybody and their mother. He tells the vendors. He tells customers. He tells me all the time. He tells everybody that will listen. And even people that don't want to listen, he'll tell this story to. He tells how, and like I said, I go through all of this stuff in the other videos, so please, I'm asking you to please watch the other video, this last video I that I'm going to post, of this Ebenezer Scrooge, this John Elwes. It's over, this horrible, narcissistic, the most evil person I've ever met in my life. You know, like I said, I have met and I have dealt with tens of thousands of people in my life, and without any doubt, with zero doubt, I could put my hand on the Bible. I can put my hand on the Bible and say without a doubt that this guy that I'm talking about, this Ebenezer Scrooge, this John Elwes, this narcissistic, just horrible, evil person, he's the worst, absolutely worst person I've ever met in my life. He's treated me worse than anybody that I've ever met in my whole entire life, bar none, without a doubt, you know. And like I said, his wife, you know, she says she's a Christian or whatever, and, you know, she claims to be a Christian, but like I said, like in the other video, you know, I've made her and her husband, her or her business partner, whatever, at least minimum $1.7 million, or $1.8 million to $2.7 million. And what is she, like I said, she can say that she doesn't know. She can say all this stuff. Oh, I don't know. I don't know that he treated you this horrible. I didn't know that, you know, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't, you know, listen. This lady is a smart lady, and all I'm saying is she has sat idly by for all these years. And like I said, you know, what has she ever done for me? You know what she's done for me? Imagine, like I said, this is how crazy this whole situation is. Imagine making somebody millions of dollars. Imagine putting your life on the line for somebody's husband or business partner, and they're alive to make money or whatever, millions of dollars later. And you know what this lady says to me? This Ebenezer Scrooge, this John O is this evil, satanic, narcissistic person. You know what his wife or business partner says to me? She tells me that Goodwill is hiring. The store that deals in whatever it is, the Goodwill store where, Goodwill, where you get the secondhand clothing or whatever. And yeah, imagine that. That's what I'm saying. This is how crazy. She has never given me a dime. And like I said, this is what she's done. She's told me that Goodwill, this is what she said. She's told me that Goodwill is hiring. She has given me one coat. She gave me a used coat that she got from Goodwill. And like I said in the other store, it has been, it was dry cleaned, and I'm thankful for that. And like I said, I have always been polite to her. I've always been cordial to her. Like I said, I've opened the door for her. I've said, yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? I have been a professional. I have been a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. This is, I have been respectful, But that's what I'm saying. Imagine she tells me Goodwill's hiring. She has given me a used coat. And I did say thank you, and like I said, she did have it dry cleaned, and I'm very grateful for that. But a used coat she gave me, polo coat. And like I said, I was thankful. I said thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I was very appreciative, But I'm just saying. She tells me Goodwill's hiring. She gives me a used coat. She has brought me one cup of coffee, and she's brought me a couple cupcakes or something like that. And like I said in the other video, this evil, her husband, her business partner, whatever, he told this lady, he told his wife, he told his business partner, whatever, oh, he's not going to eat that. He doesn't trust you. You know what I'm saying? He instead of just taking the cup of coffee and taking the cupcakes for me or whatever, and saying, whatever, no, you know what? He throws me under the bus, and said, oh, he doesn't trust you or whatever. He thinks, I'm just saying, this is what I'm saying. This is what he tells me all the time. I can't tell you how many multiple times he told me that my wife, he said, oh, I don't know what you don't understand. You cost my wife $1 million. She's pissed off at you because you cost her $1 million. I don't know what you don't understand about that. My wife is pissed off at you because you cost her $1 million in life insurance. That's what I'm saying. So like I said in the other video, do you think I'm going to eat something from somebody and drink something from somebody that is pissed off at me because she thinks that I cost her $1 million? Like I said, I'm starving and I'm thirsty. You know what I'm saying? And I would definitely love to drink it and love to eat it. But do you think I'm going to do it? No. I can't. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Please, I'm just saying, I'm not going to go into this anymore. Please watch the other video, that one that's 3 hours and 45 minutes long that I'm going to post. Please. Okay. And then, like I said, this is the other, like I said, not only this Ebenezer Scrooge he openly has admitted to me that I have spent $100,000 with him, buying merchandise off of him since 2002, spending cash money, $100,000 in cash money with him since 2002. And his narcissistic Ebenezer ass, says, oh, I should have made plenty of money. I should have made plenty of money off of that merchandise that I bought off of him. This is how Ebenezer Scrooge and how narcissistic this guy is. Like I said, he talks to me and treats me like I'm worthless trash. He said his wife is pissed off at me because I cost her $1 million, and in all reality, I've made them $1.8 million to $2.7 million, and I have spent $100,000 with them, buying merchandise off of them since 2002, and I get treated worse than worthless trash. I get my life threatened, saying that if I say anything against them or the business or whatever, him, his wife, or the business or whatever, that he would kill me or she would kill me, and that, he like I said, I'm not making this up. This is the truth. I'll put my hand on the Bible. It's the truth. This is the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth, just like I said in the other video. I'm telling you. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't even begin where to know to make this up. I'm telling you. Like I said, I've thought about this. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'm just saying, I wouldn't even know how to write this or to write a book or get a movie made. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't wish this, like I said in the other video, I wouldn't wish the way I've been treated by this guy, this Ebenezer Scrooge, this John Elwes, the most narcissistic, evil person I've ever met in my life. And like I said, I've dealt with tens of thousands of people in my life, and he is without a doubt the most evil, narcissistic, cheap, Ebenezer Scrooge person I've ever met in my life. Like I said, I wouldn't even know where to start to begin. But like I said, this is the truth. Everything I'm saying in this video is the truth, and everything in the other video, the one that I'm gonna do before, the one that's 3 hours and 45 minutes long, the one I'm gonna do before this one. Please watch that one. But like I said, I forgot to mention this. Out of all that, after spending over 3 hours and 45 minutes, Christmas morning. I'm just saying, on Christmas morning, I did that, and then I started this one right as soon as I said, I cannot believe I forgot to mention this. There are so many things. Like I said, I have so many other things I have so many other things that have happened to me. Like I said, this is everything that I've said in the last video, and everything I'm saying in this video, I have witnessed it first person, okay? It's happened to me, okay? It's happened to me, or I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've heard it with my own ears. I've been there first person with everything I'm saying in the last video and everything I'm saying in this video, okay? It's not secondhand, it's not third hand. This is what I've went through, okay? This is what I've went through. Like I said, I'm just saying, like I said, I get treated worse than worthless trash. Like I said in the other video, I tell this guy or whatever, and he, I said, what have you done? I got to the point where I just said, what have you done for me? You know what I'm saying? What have you done for me? You know what I'm saying? I have to walk. Please, like I said, please watch the other video. I have to walk. I'm working for this guy 3 days a week, 5 hours a day. Okay, that's $150 a week. I make $50 a day, okay? A day. I make $50 a day, working 3 days a week, a whole $150 fucking dollars. I've been in the business for 20 plus years. I put my life on the line for his life and his merchandise and his wife's, whatever, husband or whatever. I put my life on the line for this Ebenezer Scrooge, this horrible, evil person. Even though he treated me horrible before this in 2010, I still put my life on the line for him and his merchandise. Like I said in the other video, I was the only other person there with him. I told him, they're wearing rubber gloves, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I said, they're here to rob. I thought to myself, I said, you have to think like a criminal. When these people walk in and you see rubber gloves on their hands, I'm just telling you, are you kidding me? And you know what he told me? He can lie all he wants. His wife, his business partner can lie all she wants. I was there. This is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. I'm not delusional. I'm not crazy, okay? This has all happened. I was there, okay? I remember it like it was yesterday, okay? And it's been over 9 years later. Like I said, I'm just saying, he let these people in, okay? And the store was closed, and he let them in, okay? The rule is, once you're closed, you don't open up, you know what I'm saying? But he, like I said, he says he owns the store. He says he owns the store, but his wife and business partner says she owns the store, okay? That's what I'm saying. It's so crazy, okay? He tells everybody, oh, this is my store. When she's there, she tells everybody, this is my store, okay?
That's what I'm saying. The business license is in her name, but the guy says the business license is in his name. It's like I said in another video. It's the shadiest. It's the most shadiest thing that I've ever witnessed and dealt with in my whole entire life. It's so insanely crazy. And like I said, he tells everybody and their mother that he got screwed out of $400,000 from his nephew, who was going to buy the business or whatever. But like I said, please listen to the other video, but I'm just going to tell you, how crazy is this shit? He tells everybody, he tells me, he tells customers, he tells vendors, he tells anybody that will listen. And I've seen him tell people this stuff when these people wanted to leave. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to leave the store, but he would even tell these people, you know what I'm saying? He'd keep these people there and tell these people about how his nephew fucked him over out of $400,000. He tells me all the time his nephew fucked him over out of $400,000. He tells everybody that his nephew fucked him over for $400,000. And I'm not talking about imaginary $400,000. He's saying that his nephew fucked him out of legitimately $400,000 cash, US dollars. Like this Ebenezer Scrooge would have had the money, but yet he tells everybody his nephew fucked him out and took all this $400,000. Like I said, for himself. He was going to sell this business. This is what he tells me. He tells everybody else. He was going to sell this business to his nephew. He got a contract. Everything is legal. Blah blah blah. Whatever. He tells all this stuff or whatever. Okay. So he said it's a 10-year contract. Now listen to this. He tells me. He did a 10-year contract with his nephew. Okay. He said that in the contract they would be there for a year before they even would have to make one payment on the business. Okay, imagine that. He said that they took every single penny, nickel, dime, you name it, every single dollar out of that store for a whole entire year. They got to keep everything. Okay? This is what this Ebenezer Scrooge says about his nephew. He taught his nephew about the business, all about the business. He taught him jewelry repair. He taught him everything, okay? And then all of a sudden, a year, whenever they were supposed to make their first payment, they decided that they didn't want to, they didn't want to buy the business. And they decided to leave and go back to another state. And this is what he tells. He tells everybody that his nephew fucked him out of $400,000. And that he had to have the business, he had to have the business license and everything turned back over to him, to his name. And get this, after all of that, he says that he still had to pay them, he's still having to pay them their down payment back. That's what I'm saying. This is how crazy and insane. And this guy tells me that I don't know about business. I wouldn't understand. I've never owned my business, blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't give a shit. Anybody, any business person worth their salt would never... This makes absolutely no sense. And he said, I have a legally binding contract or whatever, but they don't have any assets, you know what I'm saying? You can't get blood from a turnip, blah, blah, blah. But yet he'll yell, scream, and curse at me and put me down and tell me I don't know about business, call me stupid, call me dumb, call me a moron, call me all kind of horrible, terrible, awful stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, this is the truth. This is the truth of the truth. And like I said, not only, he's treated me like that. He's treated me like this. He's all this. He's done all this and treated me horrible. I would say mental torture is like such a drastic understatement. He is just, oh my gosh. Like I said, I'm right now, I'm just saying, whenever I've said this to him so many times. I said, what have you done to me? I mean, what have you done for me? I said, I have made you and your wife $1.7 million, $1.8 million to $2.7 million. I said, what have you done for me? You know what I'm saying? I gotta walk miles. I gotta walk miles to work so I can work here for 5 hours and make $50. You know what I'm saying? Working 3 days a week, a whole $150. You know what I'm saying? I have to walk because my fiance and I have to share a car or whatever, and she's got the car, and I've got to walk miles to work across traffic and everything, you know? Like I said, please just watch the other video, and please listen to other video, and look at the pictures, and look at everything. The blood, I'm just saying the blood, and I'm going to put the pictures, of where I cut my hands whenever I was working for him because he had me take out the fucking trash, and he didn't tell me that anything was sharp in there because he was too busy bragging about the great deal that he got, and because he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit how heavy the trash was. He didn't give a shit that there was sharp stuff in there because he was too busy bragging about the great deal that he got. You know what I'm saying? And I cut my fucking fingers, I cut a finger on my right hand, a finger on my left hand. You know, and I want you to I want you to look at the blood. The blood is my blood. That's my blood that I bled, and that's where he said, oh, he yelled at me. He was yelling at me and telling me, oh, you just have two fucking little cuts or whatever. I don't feel sorry for you. He called me stupid and he called me a moron, you know, and he told me that he doesn't pay anybody. He said, I don't pay anybody unless they work, you know. And like I said, this is what I'm saying. This is how evil and satanic and Ebenezer Scrooge and narcissistic this guy is that I've dealt with. I'm telling you the truth. This is the truth. It's, you know, and like I said, and he said, you know, like I said, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry. Like I said, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I wouldn't wish anybody to get treated. And like I said, I was watching that movie, The Christmas Carol, you know, The Christmas Carol, and about Ebenezer Scrooge. And like I said in the other video, I was watching the black and white version that was made in 1951. I believe the actor was, his name is Alastair Sim, I believe. And he was the actor that played Ebenezer Scrooge in The Christmas Carol in 1951. It's in black and white, and that's the one that I've watched. And like I said, you know, the only way I can try to make you understand or let you into what I've been through is whatever the worst part that Ebenezer is in that movie. And like I said, your opinion may differ from my opinion at the exact moment where Ebenezer Scrooge was the, you know, the worst, you know, just the absolute worst in that, and you know, the beginning of the movie or whatever, you know. And like I said in the other video, my opinion is, like I said, with this Ebenezer Scrooge that I've been dealing with for 17 years, and I've even, like I said, I've told him, I said, I'm like Bob Cratchit, and you're like Ebenezer Scrooge, and you treat me like worthless trash, which he does, you know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I call him Ebenezer Scrooge. And whenever I call him John Elwes, I'm just saying, if you do the research or whatever, John Elwes is most likely who Charles Dickens based the Ebenezer Scrooge character on, this guy by the name of John Elwes. John Elwes. If you look, like I said in the other video, I mentioned it. In this video, I will mention it also. If you look up John Elwes, like John Elwes, Ebenezer Scrooge, or if you Google John Elwes, like Christmas Carol, or John Elwes, The Christmas Carol, or Ebenezer Scrooge, or, you know, Charles Dickens or something, you'll find that most likely part of the character of Ebenezer Scrooge was based upon this miser, this rich miser of John Elwes. But that's why I've called this guy I'm talking about Ebenezer Scrooge, John Elwes. You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But oh my gosh, I've lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was saying before, but all I'm saying is, I was talking about, I think, how bad, you know, Ebenezer Scrooge, how mean and how cruel, you know, and how, you know, miserly Ebenezer Scrooge is in the movie, The Christmas Carol, of Charles Dickens. But like I said, this is my personal opinion, my humble opinion, but I believe the 1951 version of The Christmas Carol with the actor who portrayed Ebenezer Scrooge, like I said, I believe his name is pronounced Alastair. It's Alastair Sim. Alastair Sim. And he's the one that played the Ebenezer Scrooge, and he did a great job. Like I said, that's a very emotional movie for me because, like I said, I have held out, I really, like I said, I have dreamed. This is what I'm saying. I have literally been asleep and dreamed, that this Ebenezer Scrooge person that I've dealt with in real life, you know what I'm saying? I've dreamed that he has, it's like, like he's turned from the Ebenezer Scrooge in the beginning of the movie to the Ebenezer Scrooge at the end of the movie. I've dreamed. It's like, I've hoped and I've prayed and I've dreamed, really. I have, for all these many, many years, these 17 years, I have dreamed and I've hoped and I've prayed that he would change, but he hasn't changed. Like I said, the worst part is the more money that he's got and all the deals, the more deals he's made and the luckier he's got and the richer he's got, the more sadistic and the more Ebenezer Scrooge and the more narcissistic he's been towards me. That's the truth. It's the honest to God truth, And but like I said, if you think of your own, if you watch that movie, the 1951 version of The Christmas Carol with Ebenezer Scrooge, and Bob Cratchit and everything, whatever point you think that Ebenezer Scrooge is at his absolute worst, I'm telling you, what I've dealt with, what I've went through financially and just emotionally, the toll that it's taken on my mind, body, and soul. And I'm not being dramatic. I'm not being, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the anxiety and the depression and the anger and the frustration and just the angst and just how I cannot even describe to you how horrible he has talked to me and treated me, but I'm just saying, whatever you think the worst is that Ebenezer Scrooge is in that movie towards Bob Cratchit or anybody else, the way this guy has treated me is, I'm just saying, this guy has treated me exponentially worse than the worst that Ebenezer Scrooge is in that movie. I would say 10%. Let's just say this, the way Bob Cratchit treats, the way Ebenezer Scrooge treats Bob Cratchit in that movie, in the 1951 black and white Christmas Carol, the way Ebenezer Scrooge treats Bob Cratchit is like 10%, max 10% of what this Ebenezer Scrooge, this horrible person has treated me in real life. And I'm being generous. This guy has treated me exponentially worse. He has treated me, I can't even tell you how many times, 90%, I'm just saying 90% at least worse than what Ebenezer Scrooge treats Bob Cratchit. I'm telling you, or whatever Ebenezer Scrooge treats whoever you think he treats the worst, and wherever you think that Ebenezer Scrooge is the meanest in that movie, The Christmas Carol, this guy has treated me at least 90% worse, or far greater, exponentially. I don't even know how much to tell you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, that's what I'm saying. All I can tell you is, like I said, you would have to be a horrible person where you threaten somebody's life. Like I said, he has threatened my life. He's cursed me. He's threatened to punch my teeth out. He's called me every single name in the book, putting me down. Like I said, he threatened to kill me. He said he would kill me. His wife would kill me. If I ever talk bad about him or her or the business or whatever, I'm telling you, like I said, and I've made them. I put my life on the line, to save his life, and he's been alive for 9 years, and
Like I said, he says his wife is pissed off at me because I cost her $1 million, in life insurance or whatever. But I put my life on the line to save his. I told him that they were wearing rubber gloves, clear rubber gloves, and you know what he told me? Don't blow the sale. I'm telling you, please watch the other video. I don't want to. I don't want to have to go into a whole nother 3 hour and 45-minute video. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted. I'm just so tired. I've got a migraine. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm just in this room. I'm staring at the walls. I'm all by myself. Right now it's 5:56 in the morning. I'm by myself. My fiance is sound asleep. I'm alone. It's 5:56 in the morning. That's what I'm saying. And I've already talked for 3 hours and 45 minutes at this other video I'm going to post. So, I don't know. But yeah, imagine you make someone $1.7 million or $1.8 million to $2.7 million, and you spend $100,000 with them. You spend $100,000 with this person, and this person treats you worse than worthless trash. I'm just saying. And his wife just stands by idly and doesn't, like I said, and that's what I'm saying. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. This is the truth. I'm not lying. This is the truth. This is facts. This is truth. Like I said, they can call me a liar all they want. They can call me crazy all they want. I'm not a liar. I'm not crazy. I've been through it. Like I said, I've been there, first person. I've witnessed it. I've been there. It's happened to me, or I've witnessed, or I've been there. Like I said, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard it with my own ears. This is all. Everything that I'm saying, I've said in the last video, and everything I'm saying in this video, and any other video I make about the subject, and the videos that I've already made about Ebenezer Scrooge on the subject, I've been there. Okay, I've witnessed it. These are all first-person accounts. Okay, it's not second, third, or fourth, or I heard it from this person, or this person told me that this person told me. No, this is all that I've been. This is all that's happened to me, or this is all the things that I've heard or witnessed or seen with my own eyes, or I've been there, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Like I said, he told me, he said, I don't owe you nothing. He said, I don't owe you nothing. Whenever I said, what have you done for me? I said, I made you and your wife. I said, you tell me all the time that your wife is pissed off, because I cost her $1 million, but yet I have made y'all $1.8 million to $2.7 million, dollars, because you've been alive 9 years, and you told me any schmuck can make $200,000 or $300,000 a year out of the store. So you've made at least $1.8 million to $2.7 million out of the store. I said, what have you done for me? He said, I don't owe you nothing. That's what he told me. I mean, how much of an Ebenezer Scrooge, John Elwes, horrible, satanic, I don't even know what other words. There's so many other words I could probably use that I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not privy to, in the English language. But I'm just saying, yeah, he tells me, I don't owe you nothing. He says, thank you. He said, all I owe you is a thank you. And like I said in the other video, the only reason why he says thank you, because like I said, he's a narcissist. He's not dumb. He's a narcissist. And he knows that he should say thank you. And you know why he says thank you? Because he knows he should say it, and it's free. That's why. He's so much of an Ebenezer Scrooge narcissist that he says thank you because he knows, he thinks, he knows he should say it, and it's absolutely free and doesn't cost him a dime. That's what and just like I said in the other video, I mean, how crazy is that? He tells me, I don't owe you nothing. He said, I don't owe you nothing. All I owe you is a thank you. He said, thank you. And then he said after that, he said, you know why people don't want to be around you? He said, do you know why people don't want to be around you? And I said, no, tell me. I said, tell me. I said, enlighten me. He said, because you think you're entitled. You think that you think people owe you something. That's what he said. This Ebenezer Scrooge, this person told me that as soon as he said, I don't owe you nothing. He said, thank you. And then he said, you know why? And like I said, he turns around and he starts to put me down.
I swear to you, I'll put my hand on the Bible. This is the truth. I'll take a lie detector test. I will take a lie detector test to all the stuff that I say in this video and the other video and the other videos I've said about him, Ebenezer Scrooge, and the videos that I say in the future. I will take a lie detector test. You know, like I said, I will put my hand on the Bible. Okay, all this stuff happened. It's true. It's facts. I'm not lying. I'm not crazy. Okay. Yeah, he said after that, like I said, he turns around and like I said, this is where the narcissist comes from. Then he belittles me. He said, you know why people don't want to be around you? And I just wanted to hear what he had to say, you know what I'm saying? And I said, no, why don't you enlighten me? Why don't you tell me? And he said, you know why people don't want to be around you? It's because you think you're entitled. You think people owe you something. You know, that's what he said. He said, because you think people owe you something. Imagine that. Imagine you make these people $1.8 million to $2.7 million, and then you spend $100,000 with them, and they say, I don't owe you nothing. You know? You put your life on the line for this person, and he said, I don't owe you nothing. You know? Like I said, that's not including all the stuff that I've done from 2002. You know what I'm saying? All these years, these 17 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All the loyalty that I've shown, all the experience that I've, you know what I'm saying? I have over 20 years of experience, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I don't even know where to, you know, that's what I'm saying. He tells me, I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. Thank you. That's all I owe you. You know why he says thank you? Because it doesn't cost a dime. Like I said, I am broke. I am in debt. I have to live day to day. I have to worry about the bare necessities of life on a daily basis. And this, you know, I have to worry about the food I'm going to eat, the gas in the car on a single day. Imagine buying gas daily because you can't afford to buy gas weekly or every other day or every other couple days, where you got to put gas in the car every day because that's all the money you have. You have to buy so much food for a day, one day at a time, you know. You have to worry. Like I said, I have been so depressed and so anxious and so whatever because I have to worry about, you know, how I'm going to pay the rent, how I'm going to pay the car payment, how I'm going to pay the car insurance, how I'm going to pay the electric bill, how I'm going to buy food, how I'm going to buy, you know, gas for the car or whatever. You know, that's what I'm saying. And this guy puts me down. You know what I'm saying? He threatens my life. You know, he tells me, all I owe you is a thank you. You know, I don't owe you nothing. That's how evil and satanic and horrible. And like I said, after I made them $1.8 million to $2.7 million, and I spent $100,000 with them, you know, I spent $100,000 cash with this guy since 2002. I mean, just please think about. I'm just saying. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm sure I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna think about before I end this video and see if there's something else. I'm gonna stop it for a minute and I'll be right back. I'll be back in a minute, okay? Okay. I'm just gonna say this one last thing. I mentioned about how they live in this really nice house, and I mentioned in the other video, you know, that they live in this couple $100,000 house or whatever. And I mentioned that, you know, they have a fishing lodge. They own a whole fishing lodge. They have a couple $100,000 house. They own rental properties. They own a fishing lodge. They have a couple $100,000 worth of inventory. I put my life on the line and make them $1.8 million to $2.7 million. And I spent $100,000 with them, and I get treated like worthless trash, worse than worthless trash. And, I mean, like I said,
I was his only employee. Like I said, he would brag about how he was the district manager for this large, this large chain or whatever, and that he was the district manager and he was over all these stores or whatever. He had all these employees, blah blah, and he would brag to me about how powerful he was and how he'd walk into the stores and people would just shake and tremble because they were so nervous, and he would brag about how he would fire people, and he would brag about how he used to, he would brag and he told me about how he used to carry nothing less than $100 bill, and how he used to be chauffeured. He had a limousine. He had a limousine. He was chauffeured in a limousine, and he had a bodyguard, and he carried nothing less than 100. This is this Ebenezer Scrooge person, that I'm talking about here. That's what I'm saying. But yet, like I said, I'm his only employee, and like I said, ask me how many times he has invited me over to his house. Ask me how many times. From 2002 till 2009. Ask me how many times. I'm just saying. How many times do you think he invited me over to his house? Ask me how many times him and his wife invited me over to their house. Like I said, as an employee or whatever, as somebody, their only employee or whatever. I'm just saying, how often do you think I'm just saying over a 9-year period. One time. You think about it, 365 days times 9 years, one time. Ask me how many times from 2010 till now that they've invited me over to the house. And like I said, I put my life on the line, I put my life on the line. It was just this Ebenezer Scrooge, this Ebenezer Scrooge and me in the store. He let him in. I told this Ebenezer Scrooge they were wearing clear rubber gloves, and he told me don't blow the sale. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I called his wife, and I told his wife that, this is his business partner's wife, that there's something wrong. She needs to get down the store. She comes in, I open up the door, I let her in or whatever, and she says, yeah, I see something's wrong. Okay, that's two. Number three, I had the only gun in the whole entire store, and this guy is coming around. I'm telling you, you just please watch the other video that's 3 hours and 45 minutes. I'm telling you, this guy's coming around the corner to sneak up on this guy, Ebenezer Scrooge or whatever, that's putting this necklace on this fake pregnant lady who I knew who faked her pregnancy or whatever, but he wouldn't listen to me, whatever. This guy's coming around the corner to sneak up on him, and he has a gun in his hand, and I'm in this room that has the safe or whatever, and I have the door's open, and this guy's coming around or whatever, and I see him, and I have the gun pointed at him, and then he turns around to me, and he points the gun at me. I'm just going to say, please watch the other video, okay? So I'm just saying, after that, the guy lowers the gun, and he walks back the other direction, and then I'm the one that picks up the phone. I call the police, and to make a long story short, they end up catching these people, down the road or whatever. They leave. They have a rental car. They put a fake plate on the car or whatever. The police stop them. Please read. I'm gonna add the newspaper. I'm gonna add the newspaper, article in this video too, and I'm going to put where I cut my fingers, like I said, the blood, all that blood, I'm going to show you. In the other video, I'm going to put the pictures of where I bled, where I cut myself at this guy's store or whatever, because he was too busy bragging, about the great deal he got to tell me that there was anything sharp in there, and I have to go to the hospital or whatever, and he, I'm just telling you, and then please watch the other video, it's insane or whatever, but I'm going to put the pictures in here too. When you see the fingers and you see the blood, the red, that's my blood. That's my blood. That's the blood that I bled. You know what I'm saying? And the article, I want you to read the article that I put in here, please. Okay? But like I said, I did all that stuff, I told him they were both wearing rubber gloves, clear rubber gloves. Okay, I called his wife. I called the police. I did all that stuff. They got caught. You know what I'm saying? And she faked her pregnancy. I knew she wasn't. I knew she wasn't pregnant. She faked her pregnancy. She ran, and they ended up having to tackle her or whatever. She wasn't pregnant. She had a pillow wrapped around her.
comforter. She had a roll of duct tape. She had a loaded gun. She had a pillowcase. You know what I'm saying? She had all this stuff. And I think the guy got tasered or whatever they had to, but it's in the article or whatever, and he was wanted for aggravated robbery and bad checks and warrants or whatever, and he had a criminal history, and like I said, he went to jail or prison or whatever. I don't know what happened to her, but that's what I'm saying, okay? And like I'm just and he's been, like I said, and from 2009. I'm just saying from 2002 to 2009, one time I was invited over to their house. From 2010 till now, guess how many times? Since I put my life on the line, and they've made a minimum of $1.8 million since the Ebenezer Scrooge has made out of that store a minimum of $1.8 million to $2.7 million. I'm just saying, and then from 2010 till now, $100,000 of my own, I'm just saying, of cash or whatever, $100,000 real money that I've spent with him. You know what I'm saying? $100,000 I spent with him, and I made him $1.8 million to $2.7 million. Guess how many times since 2010 I've been invited over to their house? One time. So you think about it, from 2010 to 2019. Imagine that, another 9 years, one time. From 2002 to 2009, one time. From 2010 to 2019, one time. 365 days times 9 years. I've been invited over once. And I'm just saying, for Christmas, Thanksgiving, I'm just saying, Christmas, Thanksgiving, from 2002 to 2019, 2 times. 2 whole times in 17 years. That's that. I mean, I'm just saying. That's. And yeah, 2 whole times in 17 years. And like I said, they have a fishing lodge. Ask me how many times that I've been invited to the fishing lodge. Ask me how many times that this Ebenezer Scrooge, or his wife or his business partner, either one, ask me how many times either one of them have asked me to come to the fishing lodge. Like I said, after I've made them $1.8 million to $2.7 million and spent $100,000 with them and put my life on the line, for him and the merchandise and their merchandise or whatever, ask me how many times. 0. I've never been invited. They've never invited me to come to the fishing lodge, and I've been allowed in their house 2 times. They've invited me for either Christmas or Thanksgiving 2 times in 17 years. And like I said, I stayed in their house whenever because I borrowed money off this Ebenezer Scrooge, and like I said, he would because I was so desperate for money or whatever that he would let me borrow money, but then he'd charge me interest. He charged me VIG. He charged me interest on the money that I borrowed from him, and then I would pay it back by staying there at the house overnight or whatever. I would stay the night, for nights, whatever. I would go to work, and I'd come back, and I have to drive there, and I have to take care of the dogs and spend the night or whatever. Wake up, take care of the dogs, go to work, come back or whatever. I did, because when he went to the lodge, or when he went somewhere, or when his wife was gone, they were both gone or whatever, I was there in the house alone. Taking care of the dogs, because like I said, I was paying off money that I borrowed off of him because I was so broke, that he would loan me the money, but then he'd charge me interest on it, charge me VIG, and I would pay off the money by staying there and watching the dogs so they could leave. But like I said in the other video, I'm just saying, I don't even know. Like I said, it's just so insane. Yep. So I don't know. I'm going to have to stop. Like I said, it's 6:14 in the morning. It's 6:14 a.m. in the morning. And I've been talking for 1 hour and 3 minutes and 20 seconds. 6:15 in the morning.
a.m. and going on 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 33 seconds. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. I forgot to mention that after all of this, he admitted that I spent $100,000 with him over the years since 2002. Imagine that. Imagine somebody doing $100,000 worth of business with you and making you $1.8 million to $2.7 million, and then you get treated like worthless trash and not even get a dime. Not even. Like I said, you get treated like worthless trash and not even get a penny. And in 17 years, I've been invited over to their house twice. 2 times in 17 years. And I believe those 2 times were for Christmas. One time. I'm just saying, 1 time a year, Christmas. And so I've been invited over to their house 2 times in 17 years, and both of those times have been on Christmas. And they have a fishing lodge that they own, and I've never been invited there. But yet, I put my life on the line for this Ebenezer Scrooge person, his wife, his business partner, her husband, whatever. He's alive, and he's alive now, and he's been alive to make a minimum of $1.8 million to $2.7 million, because like I said, he told me, I don't know how many times, any schmuck can make $200,000 or $300,000 a year out of the store, okay? He makes a minimum of $200,000 a year out of that store to $300,000 a year times 9. Like I said, 9 years he's been alive, and he's still alive. He's going to make more money, and I guarantee he's made more money over than that 1.8 million and that 2.7 million, okay? But yet he tells me, I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. Thank you. That's all I owe you. Thank you. You know why? Like I said, because it's free, because it doesn't cost him a dime. And then, like I said, after he said that, thank you, then he turns around and he says, do you know why nobody wants to be around you? Because you think you're entitled. You think somebody owes you something. Then he turns around and says that to me. Like I said, because he is the most narcissistic, the most evil, the most satanic, the most, just John Elwes, Ebenezer Scrooge, the most horrible person I've ever met in my life. And like I said, I've dealt with tens of thousands of people in my life, in my line of work, and he is by far, without any doubt, 0 doubt, he's the most evil and narcissistic. Like I said, he may not act like this to any other person on earth, but this is the way he's done me. Like I said, I've known him on and off for 17 years, okay? This stuff happens when nobody else is around. I'm just telling you. Or no, he doesn't do this in front of his wife or business partner. He doesn't do it in front of the customers. He doesn't belittle me. He doesn't, he doesn't curse me. He doesn't threaten my life in front of, like I said, he's not stupid. He's not dumb. His wife is not stupid. His wife is not dumb. His business partner, or whatever she is, they're both not stupid. They're both not dumb. Like I said, but yes, they have both threatened he has threatened my life. She's never threatened my life. He has. He's, like I said, let this be known. If anything ever happens to me, anything, you know what I'm saying? If anything negative ever happens to me, if I, I'm just saying, I want you, and just like I said in the other video, I want you to first and foremost question and question these people that I'm talking about. This man and this woman, this Ebenezer Scrooge guy and his wife or business partner, whatever. I want you to question them, okay? Because like I said, if he didn't do it and she didn't do it, themselves, then I want you to question them about if they hired somebody to do something negative to me, or if they put in the word, to do something. So, like I said, like I said, I should never. Nobody should ever have to feel like this. Nobody should ever have to live like this and go through the financial and mental torture and just the physical and mental torture, financial torture, every kind of torture you can think of. I've been through dealing with this guy. I'm just saying. Nobody. I'm just saying. I wouldn't wish it on a dog. And then, like I said, after all this stuff, after putting my life on the line for this guy, and then they end up making real money. We're talking about real money, United States dollars. You know what I'm saying? making one minimum of $1.8 million over these past 9 years. Almost $2 million to $2.7 million, almost $3 million. These past 9 years he's been alive. Plus I spent $100,000, buying merchandise, from this guy since 2002. And he treats me worse than worthless trash, and I got to worry about my life. He threatens my life. He said if I talk bad about him or his wife or the business or whatever, that he would kill me or his wife would kill me, and that if I thought he was mean, that his wife was a lot meaner, And like I said, he's threatened to punch my teeth out. He's called me every name in the book. He's put me down. He just, like I said, please watch the other video. That's 3 hours and 45 minutes. Please read the article that I wrote about the robbery. Look at the pictures that I'm gonna put in there about where I cut. That's the blood is my blood. The blood is my blood. That's the blood that I bled. Where this Ebenezer Scrooge said, "Oh, I don't feel sorry. You got two little cuts." He called me stupid and a moron, and he said you had two little cuts, and he said I don't pay anybody. He said I don't pay anybody if they don't do work for me. Like I said. After I got cut because he asked me to take out the trash, and he didn't tell me there was anything sharp in there because he didn't give a shit, because he didn't have to take out the trash. After I made them $1.8 million to $2.7 million and spent $100,000, he calls me a stupid moron. He said I have two little cuts or whatever, and he said he doesn't pay anybody unless they work. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, please watch the other video. It's fucking insane what I've been through. And I've been invited over to their house for 2 times in 17 years. And I've never been invited to their fishing lodge. I don't know. It's 6:22 in the morning. And this video is 1 hour and 10 minutes and 28 seconds. As soon as I got done making that last video, that was over.